All right, talking union. I was in the union, whole lot of union. I was in the union, a whole lot of union. I was in the Communication Workers of America, and I was in the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers with my dad. Right now, I am in the American Federation of Teachers in New Jersey. I was in the International Food and Service Workers for a very brief stretch of time. I was in the Graduate Students Employees Union, the GSEU. I was in the American Federation of Teachers up in Maine as an adjunct. And down here, I am in the American Federation of Teachers as a full-time faculty member in New Jersey. I remember when I was a member of the Socialist Workers' Party, I went to a International Food and Service Workers strike back in the 90s. I was on the picket line there. Another picket line I was on back in the 90s, and I have no recollection which socialist organization I was working with, but that was for the Amalgamated Clothing and Textile Workers Union, and that was either in Patterson or Clifton. I forget which, but we were on the picket line with the workers there. And I remember my dad telling me a story back in the 70s when I was a kiddo. He was working at a plant in Macaulay, Woodbridge, and a couple of guys showed up selling socialist newspapers, and I forget which union that was, right? Was it the Steelworkers Union? One of the others, right? Those guys were organized by the Steelworkers Union, something like that. And when they came out of work and they saw the socialists selling the newspapers, peddling those papers at the factory gates, man, they did a number on those guys. They tore those socialists apart. And I remember at the factory with my dad at the plant up in Walk Hill near Middletown, in Middletown. I worked with a whole lot of guys, and that was the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. And a lot of those guys were Vietnam vets. And I remember standing on a lot of picket lines for a lot of different reasons, in a lot of different places, with a lot of really good people, doing a lot of good things. And somehow, no matter where I work, no matter what I do, I end up as some part of some union somewhere. And right now, I got a union card, and I got union benefits. I was talking to my brother in Alaska about my medical benefits, and and he is insured by Aetna through the Heavy Laborers Union in Alaska. And I told him that I had Horizon Blue Cross and Blue Shield. And I have not been to a doctor in a very long time, literally years, you know. I've been to psychiatrists. I've been to therapists. But I have not been to a medical doctor in a long, long while, right? Except for a VA doctor. I've been getting some care through the VA, right? But have not been to a doctor outside the VA in years. And my brother in Alaska, when I told him I had Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield, he said, "Dang, that is the best private health care you can get." And all of that is a product, a result of being in the union. And we have a contract bargaining agreement. And I gotta read that. I've read it a few times, more than once for sure. And I gotta read it again. A lot of fine print. And a lot that confuses me, you know? I mean, I just get up in the morning and I start doing stuff. And before I know it, I am in the union. And I kind of like it, you know? It's just something I've been doing all my life. My grandfather was in the Association of Machinists. He worked at Scranton Button Company. He worked at the Scranton Button Company up in Scranton. Pressing records, weirdly, 78s. I just found that out recently. And he was always a big union man. He was in the Machinist Union in Scranton. And then he was in the Steelworkers Union in Newark. He went down to work in the steel mills. My dad worked with him there for a spell. And then he was president of that union, the Steelworkers Union down in Newark, really in Harrison. And then from there he got fired. He used to make a lot of waves, you know, he was always a union man. And he always kicked up a racket, you know, and so he eventually got fired from that job. They fired him on a technicality. His position required him to be able to read blueprints, and he never made it far in school, and so he could not read blueprints. And after making waves, they kicked him out. They fired him for that reason. And so he went to work for a machine shop in Newark. And he moved around a lot. He moved the family around a lot from one apartment to another in Newark through the 1950s and 60s. And then he got a job in a small machine shop. There were like 8 guys working there, right? It was a small, privately owned machine shop. And he was such a union man that even though his pay was okay, and he did okay, he insisted on organizing a union, right? So he took this small machine shop, all the guys in it, and he organized them, right? And convinced them that a union was the way to go, right? They were all machinists. And after they organized and they insisted on the union, and like I said, it was a small privately owned machine shop, the guy that owned the place, well, he never fired anybody, but he shut the machine shop down. He closed the place. And then a year later, he opened the same place back up, and he hired everybody that was working there except for my grandfather, you know? And who is to say that is right or wrong? I got no clue, you know? But, you know, I've been in a lot of unions. My dad, a couple of different unions. My brother's been in unions. And my grandfather, my dad, his father, in Scranton, where my dad was born. And my great-grandfather, Robert Harrison Owens, he was a coal miner. He was a coal miner, and there's an old family story, and old family story that there was a mine accident way back when, and he was taken to the morgue with a bunch of guys that had been killed in that mining accident. And he was not dead. Somehow he woke up in the morgue, got up, and just walked away. And that story has circulated through the family for decades, many decades, right? Most of the 20th century. And my dad, his cousin, took me to the cemetery where my great-grandfather is buried. And in that same cemetery in Scranton, there are 67, maybe 61. There was a mining accident in 1867, the Avalon mine disaster in Scranton, and like over 100 guys died. And many of them are buried there. And that is where my grandfather is buried. So, who knows what it means to be alive? Who knows what it means to be dead? Who knows what it means to be in a union? I got no clue, but I feel like I am a little better for it somehow.